My name is Johanna Kollmann. I'm an information architect and product manager. I'm based in London. And in my work, I focus on user experience, I focus on digital product strategy, and I really like to build products in multidisciplinary collaborative teams. I've spent a lot of time looking into how designers can make Agile work for them. Started years and years and years ago, where I interviewed lots of people when Agile was still a fairly new thing for designers to engage with, and I did observations and tried to figure out what can you do to make it work, because Agile was not designed for designers, it worked really well for developers. And years later, I feel that I still get asked the question a lot, what can we do to make it work better? Now, in my own experience, it really helped me to understand what are the core principles of Agile, that are in the manifesto. And one of the ones that I really like, for example, is that we value communication between people and collaboration more than having extensive documentation. Now, it can be quite scary if you have to change the way you work when you're used to producing specifications. For me, it was really good to take the step and engage more with other people on the team. And for me, that also meant to not let myself be separated from everybody else, but commit and be there for any stand-ups, be there for any planning sessions, be there if you're working in Scrum for the daily stand-ups. And that was something that I found a lot of designers whose organizations stood out to be Agile sometimes are not really part of the development team. I believe people who make digital products should care about lean. And when I say lean, I'm really interested in lean as in lean coming from lean manufacturing and not just the notion of lean in lean startup. There's been a lot of talk about lean being just about doing more with less, about making it difficult for people to achieve quality in their work, of just cutting corners. And it's really not about that. And the more I've actually spent time looking into lean, as in the origins of lean coming from manufacturing in Japan, I've realized that these guys are all systemic thinkers who really care about the people in the organizations, the purpose of the organizations, and processes that help everybody to have the same information and to give people the information that they need to make really empowered decisions. So lean is a lot about a learning organization. And I feel if we make digital products, we have to learn all the time because our product's changing, our customers are changing. If we're making something new, people will become experts over time, the markets are changing. And the better information we have about everything in our remit of our product, the more information we have, the better decisions we can make. And lean's really often about that, to look at the system that you're in, coming up with ways to understand it. And it's a lot about empowering the people who are closest to problems to solve them, rather than having a kind of top-down management hierarchy. And I think there's often things in lean and in these cultures, in these organizations, that are often very poorly understood, but I think we can take a lot from it. My general talk is going to be about sense-making for digital products. Now, when we work in collaborative teams, creating products that are often embedded within a business structure, there's so many things we have to figure out. We have to figure out who are our customers and how do we design things that actually engage them and make sense to them. We work together and we have to make sure when I say what I mean, I think you know what I mean, maybe you don't. So how do we make sense of all the data that we have from customers, from elsewhere? How do we make sense about signals in the market? There's so much stuff going on and we constantly have to adapt and understand the system we're embedded in. And now this is really difficult, but information architecture, lean management, systems thinking, for a long time there have been people trying to figure out how can we bridge the gap between understanding the situation we're in, making the right sense of it, and then taking action, deciding on the right interventions, deciding on the right next steps. So in my talk I'll be looking into what tools and concepts are there in the different fields that I mentioned that we can actually use immediately in our work in a very practical way to have a better understanding of the world we're in, to make sense together and then make better decisions for the products we're building.